Hey, welcome to Aaron.
Hey, hi. Where are we? What?
It's Aaron Live. It's
Oh, that's
October
right.
17th, 2021.
Man,
We're not getting any younger.
that's for sure.
Boy, do we have Shelley, we have a huge show.
Well, that's what you told me,
It's
but
big.
I asked you if it
Gigantic.
was going to be embarrassing.
No.
For me.
Well, there's
Uh-huh.
a level of embarrassment every time.
Oh, every time
we come on. That's
Yeah.
unavoidable.
Yeah. Oh,
But,
man.
Is this light making us look too pasty? Is that
Making
better?
my shiny hair go wild.
All right,
That's
let's
good.
see
Get
who's
out
here.
of
What's
there,
that
honey.
dog? The dog was totally fine.
He was fine until just like a second ago. Okay, let's go back. You guys
Hey,
were early.
Danky Frankie's the
Ooh,
first one
yeah.
here. You know what you get for that? Nothing. But thanks for coming in early. I love that. It's like sitting in a dark room waiting for someone to turn on the lights.
No, actually, he was cleaning his house,
Oh, I see.
which we don't do that.
Oh,
Not very often, anyway.
it's true. Do you notice I've got gray coming back in here?
I did. But somehow your mustache isn't. So that's why people keep saying like your mustache is so dark.
It's getting gray on the sides
yeah.
though.
It does look a little
I'm getting older by the second. This is like the video of Dorian Gray. Hey now, don't
well,
you
no,
say
with the
me.
little I know after what we've been called this week.
Or
yesterday.
Whatever.
Depends
what day it is. Let's see here. Leg kick is here because leg kick is
always here.
It's almost
always
here.
It's so disappointing.
Nicholas Gear is here. Statistical Zero. Dr. Mask's Retro Elixir has joined us.
That's hard to say.
It is, especially if you're trying to say it fast. Now see, we just had this discussion. He's having some Reese's Pieces tonight.
Oh, they're so good.
I hate them. I love peanut butter, but I don't like Reese's Pieces. I think it's the combination of the peanut butter and the candy doesn't work for me. The candy coating.
Oh.
If it was chocolate,
Husker.
I'm there.
Do you? Man, he's annoying.
Okay. Bill Maxwell's here.
Hi.
Past Master Dan.
Always.
Well, I once called Postmaster Dan, which is not the same thing, in case you were wondering.
Okay, it was not. But that's okay.
Pulled the comics out to sort while the wife is out of town, trying to put stuff back. My old body is unhappy. It's probably because you have too many copies of Atari Force.
We feel you though. Like, yeah.
Stout's here. Hail to the chat. Do we love the American way here? We love the American way. That's the only way. Is the American way.
Make the world a better place.
Oh, Aaron, say it.
Louvière.
That's right, because you're the French
one
in the house. Who else is here?
Hi, AJ Dom.
Didn't take him long. It's middle of October. Peak Atari Force season.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, and you know what? It's also peak season for this.
That was quick.
Well, Atari Force doesn't take much. It doesn't take much.
Did you warm up?
Hey. He loves the guitar and the.
What? Your Wi-Fi is bugged. What?
Oh, wait, what? Brute Force is better than Atari Force. Anything's better than Atari Force.
Oh, nice.
John's here. Hello, John.
John. Let's see.
Just for Men, The Deadly Years, of course. That's it's a Star Trek episode,
well,
I think.
Maybe we need to dye it again. I could use a good laugh.
Yeah, well, Fox Mulder saw the new art pages for Wraith of God on Instagram. Incredible stuff.
So good.
Thank you so much. I also sent out the art to everybody who backed it in a little update email that I send out to everybody. So that dye job is washed out of everywhere but a very unfortunate location. Yeah, I know what you're getting to. So.
Yeah, we better just not dye that part and dye everything else. I don't know. Let's see. What are you covering up? Oh,
embarrassment only for Shelley, Aaron. Oh, I see what you did there. Now I want you to watch closely what I'm about to do here.
Oh man.
All right, so you guys are probably wondering, why is it such a big show? Why did I make such a big deal out of it, saying it was a big show?
I don't know, because you're scaring me.
Well, there's new stuff. There's new stuff that we haven't.
You haven't even told me about it.
Can we get rid of that?
I didn't click it.
Wow. David Williams, a fan favorite, frequent guest on the show, is going to be here later on. He's going to show us his gray marker inking technique, which he's been trying to get me to start doing on my sketches, but I haven't really sort of wrapped my mind around it. So he's going to show us.
Are you nervous? What if you suck at it?
Just let me take care of this real quickly.
Not the neck. Anything but the neck. Take this off.
All right. So before we start
But
getting
let's
rolling,
you're not worried about it.
oh, no, I'm never worried about that.
Okay.
Stressed about other things. but I'm
Oh
not worried
gosh,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah, we got a lot of that.
So I did,
Yeah.
you know, in the promo, I did say that we were going to be doing advanced snacking.
Yeah, I
And
asked if
that's-
you had an advanced degree in snacking.
Well, we're going to do an online program, I think, and then
About-
people can get an advanced degree in snacking.
I think we
you're
could
gonna
do that.
Yeah.
Especially about 3 a.m.
But if
when I
it,
really get the
Mhm.
snackies. Okay, yeah.
advanced snacking though is just what we do. It's nothing. It's
It's
not
just the level of
right. So I didn't want people to come in expecting there was going to be like better snacking than usual, but because what we do all the time is what I
Oh,
consider
it's
advanced snacking.
Yeah.
So let's take a moment and prepare ourselves for some
snacks.
advanced snacking.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Oh, that's not the words, is it?
No, that's not the right words. Well, you missed what she was singing, thankfully.
Do you want me to do it again?
No,
No?
I have to hit the language alert. Okay,
I
so
didn't see anything bad.
Shelly, show us what we've got
This
today for our
time?
snacks.
Oh, I don't even know. This one's already open.
So we
Cheater.
didn't have to make the noise. I
Oh,
didn't
well,
take
this is
any.
an advanced mountain.
Every time I go
Mix.
into the healthy section,
Yeah.
it's there, and I grab a bag, even though I don't think it's healthy.
This one's open as well.
Well, I started on that one last night
Ooh,
because that's really good. Were you gonna share with the?
no, I'm not even gonna share with you.
What do we got?
Dark chocolate covered cherries. Pour moi.
Mhm. Well, they're for both of us, really.
Oh, okay. So you think.
So I'm gonna have a little bit here.
Let's
I
all
feel
go
my
to the lobby.
I feel my energy's waning
Oh,
a bit.
I know. I
Mm.
gave myself a shot of vitamin B, so it's
You ready to
gonna
go?
last a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's what we are munching on
Get
today.
yourself some crack. That's what I think. Crack is not a bad word. Only if you see it is it bad.
It's only
Oh.
it's like the Knights of Knee. Every time you say knee,
Oh,
yeah.
it's a shrubbery.
Enough of this
Okay.
foolishness. Okay. Let's do a quick public service announcement if we could, and then we'll get into the show,
Okay.
as if we haven't already.
Just gonna snag.
Yes. That's
All
right. So remember to like and subscribe.
Talk about having some crack.
So remember to like and subscribe, even if you don't like it. Go ahead and subscribe anyway, just
Oh.
because it helps me, and that's what you really want to do, isn't it? You want to help
We
me.
need some help.
No, I understand that's what Shatner yelled when he got up to the top of the rocket in space and came back down.
How'd that go for him?
He came out alive. Have you seen the memes where he's got the little goatee and they say the
Mm-mm.
mirror Kirk returned, the evil Kirk returned?
Oh
from
my
space?
gosh, that's funny.
So
No, I did see some pretty funny stuff about Let's Go Brandon. Superman's a big fan.
well,
Woo!
David's coming in early. I'll be into school Ron in a minute or two. Yeah, we'll see about
Yeah,
that.
we just
We'll see about
hold
that.
your horses there, young man.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh
Oh,
gosh.
let's see. Hey, Aaron, what happens on your end when we click "This is awesome" on the updates? Anything?
This is awesome.
Is there a "This is awesome" button, or are you just messing with me?
I better check it out.
No. I don't know. I can hardly run this show. I don't know what goes on, on the other side.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
4C Comics Live says, I spoke to David earlier. He said he was just another schooling he was giving you. Yeah. Now we'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
I know there was like someone asked if you were worried or
I just said I'm never worried.
oh, okay. Yeah, dark chocolate's good for your heart. That's our excuse.
That's why I eat tons of it.
Do you?
No.
Oh.
But I do eat some.
Oh,
Let's see. For Shelly Showtime, kudos to the way you handled yourself with the SCWs in your Blacklist DC thread. You're bad A. Yeah.
I mean,
She's constantly looking for trouble on Twitter and finding it.
I had again. I mean, I guess I should know,
Better.
but I didn't think that. Like,
Now,
I mean, who cares
fess up.
what I think?
Did you tell me you were going to do that before you did it?
Nope.
I had no idea.
None.
I
Nope.
saw it and I went, here we go
You came in
again.
and told me, and I'm like, oh, that's just not right. And yeah, I just don't like when people are treated poorly. And I don't care who you are, whatever. I just think it's crappy. And it's because it's not on anything else but just pure spitefulness and jealousy. And whew, I guess you guys probably figured all that out already.
So GJ Martinez says, good evening. When you send an update via email, so you're talking about the campaign, at the end there's reactions we can give you. This is awesome and
Oh.
such. Oh, I see. I thought you were talking about on the
I
video.
see.
But speaking of the video, which people are, well,
Oh,
this is
Rated by
live
video?
actually. Yeah, well, no, just speaking of us doing a video.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people, Shelley, come
Yeah.
up to me.
And what do they do?
Well, they ask me questions, and one of the questions they ask me are,
Yeah. What you working on?
well, that's a good question.
I know.
I did want to throw out a few things here.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, you got a lot.
now, this
Wow.
this was a mini series that I did for Dark Horse called Power Cubed, and I have all the trades that were part of the campaign,
Mhm.
right? The people ordered in the campaign.
Yeah, the boxes
Those
over there.
they're sitting over there, so I have those.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not working on it, but I will be because I'll be signing all of them.
Ooh.
So anyway,
But
I've
you
got
can't, like,
those.
stamp it or something.
Now you may be familiar with this.
So he just ignores me.
I do. At least I'm honest.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe some of you have seen this
Oh.
before.
But I've seen it, but I don't know what it is. Do you know
I don't
what it
need,
is?
I have no clue.
I know you
I know
don't.
it's a
I know.
Swedish publisher though, and he keeps
awesome.
promising me it's coming soon. So we shall see. He's even
Awesome.
talked to me about doing like another miniseries because this is kind of like its
Oh.
own thing. And I was like, sure. Are you going to ever publish the first one? So
He's just planning ahead.
keeps threatening that he's going to. So I'll let you know
I like that.
when I know. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Now, some of
What
you
else?
may know that I'm doing something called Wraith of God.
Really?
It's a graphic novel. It looks like it's pushing 80 pages at this point.
Holy
You
cow.
guys are getting your money's worth on this one.
Arm's gonna fall off.
I know. So anyway, the link for this is actually in the description of this video.
Mm.
So if you wanted to
know.
go there and get a copy reserved,
Don't go there.
no, go
Go
there.
there.
Hit that
All right.
link. It'll take you right there. Sign up.
Perfect.
Bam, you're in.
Awesome.
Here's another little piece of news.
Gosh.
This is the cover to the Garbage Man trade paperback that Dark Horse published.
Nice.
And I also offered a good number of those, 400 to be exact.
Seriously.
That's how many were ordered through the campaign.
Nice.
Those
But
will
how many
be-
do you have?
I have 0 right now, but they're
That
coming
could be a problem.
October 25th. So I will have them.
yeah.
And if I can get an extra box, you know what I'm going to do? I'm
Put
going to
'em
put
on
it back in the
demand.
campaign. Yeah, so people can come in and order them if they haven't got them.
Smart, this girl.
But if you can't get it through the campaign, you can get this on Amazon. You get it through your local comic shop. You can order it, but you can't get it signed unless you buy it through me. So
Holy
if you're into
cow.
that,
Okay. Yeah, you want your
Yeah.
signature?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
What else?
So
oh my gosh, quite a list.
well, yeah, well, let's take a look at. Let's just go through the whole Wraith of God stuff real quickly here.
Okay. Yeah.
This is the retro 70s kind of Marvel-esque cover
Uh-huh.
that we all like so much.
I do.
And
Go
this,
back to that for a minute, though.
oh,
I got to look at it.
hang on. Shelley's got some
I
analysis.
don't have
for
blonde
us.
hair. I have gray hair, but I don't have blonde hair.
Oh, I know.
All right, I got a wig.
Okay.
Maybe.
We're talking about, maybe
Yeah.
Halloween or something. Anyway, so
Mhm.
now this is
Scary.
a print that you can order. It's very limited edition. Along with it's a mini print because everything sort of has to fit in the same size box. So it can't be. It's not a real big print, but it'll still be signed and numbered by me.
Not me, though.
And so that's available. No, you
Nobody
don't
wants
get
my
it.
autograph.
No, some people
Usually
do.
on a referral.
Well, when we get our
Oh.
T-shirts for you made, the Shelley Showtime T-shirts,
Right.
then you'll be signing those. This, of course, is the trading card that comes with
It's
the.
so cool.
This is for people. It's only for the people that signed up early, but I will preparing. I'll be
Mhm.
printing some extra ones so that if people that are like card completists and want to get one. they'll
Hey,
be able to get
now.
one from me.
It looks like you need to get another gun.
Why?
Look at the gun he's holding.
Well, he could have many guns.
Oh, you want a pirate gun now?
I do want to
No.
have a gun.
It's got a problem.
When
thought
I
did
got
one.
those gun replicas, those of you who saw the unboxing
Oh,
video,
I'm so excited.
yeah,
They're pretty
it was pretty fun. And so now I'm like,
I like
ooh,
Esther's gun the best.
yeah, and they had like this big catalog full of other guns you could get,
Yeah.
and I was like, I want a pirate gun. So,
Then I'll go get me a new one.
uh,
A real one.
Yeah.
What else
Okay.
you got?
And well, now there's
God, it's hot
GJ
in
was
here.
talking. It's not hot in here.
Turn the fan on.
All right.
hot.
These are the pages that I just finished inking that I'm sharing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Can you guys hear it? Is it too loud?
I'm going to be freezing and she's going to be just right.
Oh, man,
And that's page 5.
that's cool.
Now I'm inking page 6 over there right now, and I want to share it so badly, but I'm not going to because it's the fight scene, and they're going to want to ruin it for you guys. But it is really cool. So anyway, and then
money.
now see, this is the Esther card,
Mm-hmm.
and this is not the gun that I got.
That was more like this gun.
Yeah, but it's
But
still
good.
not. It's still not the same one that I got for him.
Oh,
It's a different gun.
gotcha.
There's all kinds of guns in this. But anyway,
Let's pick one up.
that's
it.
the card that everybody gets just for backing the campaign.
Nice.
Everybody gets that card.
And you get a card.
And
And
you get a card.
card.
Everybody gets a card.
Alright.
So that's what I'm working on.
Super. What about, did you do this one?
Yeah, that's just the color one in black and white.
Oh, I didn't know if you were gonna do
Look at
that.
all these
Oh my
comments
gosh,
rolling
we're
in.
just,
They're rolling.
okay.
Uh-oh.
Wait.
Well,
go
let's
back.
manage this a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
Man, that's cool. I like the robot.
it reminds me of my. Oh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
but let me remind you of this.
Yeah, I was going to say, if that reminds you, I'd like to know what this reminds.
Oh, it's good stuff.
Um,
Philo Prestige.
he likes the robot. That's from Power Cubed. He likes the robot.
Yeah.
Scroll.
Scrolling. My ears
Yep.
are burning.
Hit the like button and subscribe. You
Um,
may get snacks. Absolutely.
Randy's here. Was Randy here before?
Randy who? Owl? Better late
Did
than never.
not say
Cannonball.
that. He did not say that.
Well, I know more than one Randy.
Oh wait.
Oh, I see. There's a Wraith up. See, that's what GJ was. GL was saying.
Awesome button.
GJ was saying. There is an awesome button for
Is
your
the
Wraith up.
button
Okay.
awesome or is it
Thank you.
sales? Okay, go up. You're just.
We're going the wrong way, man. We got to
No.
keep up.
Oh wait.
No, see, we already did that.
That's where we stopped.
Okay.
And then
We don't have to read every single one.
yeah, I do.
Only if they give us money.
Oh, don't. There we
Mm.
go, AJ.
Apex, Halo Prestige,
Hi.
thank you. Thanks for joining us. Shelly's the mama bear of
Mm.
CG. You go, girl.
I just can't take it.
Mm.
People are just nasty to be nasty. I don't like it.
Aaron should be worried that David will draw so slow that Wraith of God 2 will be in the last weeks in demand.
Ooh, Joe.
Let's see here. There's a lot of grandpa comments in there.
Gosh, loving that. Nice.
It is. Wraith is the best value in
Aw.
CG. Thank you.
It's awesome.
You should make David Williams draw Wraith of or Garbage Man tonight. That way you can tell him what he did wrong when he beats you. Whoa!
Baby. Scroll.
What are you going to say when this happens?
Oh,
How do you feel about that? They published the comics, but they never published a trade. Now I have the rights to it. So then I got Dark Horse to publish the trade for me.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm going back to your campaign again soon for Garbage Man because, well, it's not there right now. So I got to get another box. And I don't know if I'm
Just
going
make
to or
sure
not.
how many they have.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Joe. I have, yes, got my rogue hair going. Look like my mom.
Oh, look at that. These pages took my breath away. Stunning. Thank you so much. That's very kind of
Oh,
you.
okay, the fan's not too loud. Thank you. Oh, there was a good question
Where?
about the guns.
Where?
That one from AJ.
So, Aaron, can you write off any replica gun you buy on your tax? Yes, I can. And yes, I will.
Oh, but it says, are you doing a pirate book next? Confirm. Because you're buying a pirate gun.
No.
He's just a pirate geek.
Uh-oh. Star Trek trivia. Where did Leonard Nimoy get the Vulcan hand gesture? He was in church. He was Jewish as a young Jewish boy. It was something that what do you call it? The elders.
right.
I'm not Jewish, but whatever the used for, I don't know. That's where he got it from was, I guess would be synagogue, not church, but synagogue when he was.
Wow.
So yeah, don't try and stump me in Star Trek.
Wow.
Go, Randy Howell's throwing me money.
Oh, Randy.
Is Wraith holding a shotgun in his trading card? Perhaps he sawed off the stock for Esther. Actually, Esther's is a double barrel. The one that
Oh, it's
he's
so cool.
holding is just a single barrel
It's heavy
shotgun.
too. Those are like
Mhm.
hefty. Yeah, that was good.
Okay, so let's get moving, Shelley, because David's
All right, I'll
waiting.
leave, I guess then. What? What?
And out he goes.
David!
And out he goes.
Oh, funny.
There you go. It'll be like Predator 2. I'll just throw in a pirate gun in Monster's stash for the write-off. You got it, brother. That's exactly it. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So again, Randy, thanks for the $10 super chat. That's
Randy,
very
you're so
kind of you.
sweet. Gonna do a sequel, are you?
Yeah, it'll be part of a bigger book, my second campaign, but I want to get this one done first, obviously. But yes, there will be more Wraith, so stay tuned.
So
Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to do some research. Oh, well, I guess, did your beard, do you think, wash out or just grow?
I think it grew out. This grows pretty quick.
Well, I mean, he shaves in the morning and has this by like 4 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Poor
We have to
guy.
take a look at the Wrightson of the day, though. We got to keep moving.
That's true.
So moving
Okay,
on.
okay.
Let's take a
Keep it
look at
moving,
the
Shelley.
Wrightson image
Okay,
of the
I'm
day.
gonna have a snack too.
Some button trauma.
Button trauma happening.
Okay. I love that one because it's Wrightson.
Yeah, 2.
2, because it's a fat Santa,
Mhm.
and I love Santa Claus. Now, here's an interesting fact. You may or may not know this. Once I tell you, you may go, oh, yeah. But
Uh-huh.
that was hanging in the hallway at CrossGen.
Mm.
Mark Alessi owned that piece.
Wow. That's where all the money went.
And he had a lot of good stuff in there.
Mhm.
And I would walk by every morning and just go,
Mhm.
He also had the
But oh,
Frazetta
Mary
original
better.
that I wanted.
You want a what?
He had a
Frazetta original?
Frazetta original in his
Wow.
conference room that I really, really liked.
Write-offs.
So anyway, someone sent me a private chat. Yeah, David, I know you're here. I'm not letting you in yet, though.
Oh. Jeffrey?
Right here.
No, yeah.
Any chance for T-shirts with Wraith and one of you guys? There's going to be a Shelley Showtime shirt, and there might not
Can you
this
use
campaign,
like a picture
but
from like 20 years ago. I don't mind the rogue hair.
well,
Just the rest of
yeah,
me.
but
I'm
it's
not
going to
real
be
fond of.
it's going to be kind of like a black and white image. It's going to like we'll take the photograph and then sort of make it into a graphic. So
So a lot of stuff won't show.
Mhm.
Man. Let's
we're going to
see.
get something. I don't know. We'll talk when I let David in. We'll discuss exactly
If.
what we'll be drawing at. If
Mm,
first discovered Wrightson on his Alien Sword for Dark Horse. How about that?
nice. Nice.
Aaron's going to draw a new Ford truck for the Wraith and get the tax write-off.
Oh. Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Zaid's here.
Hi, Zaid.
Well, Shelley, there's more. There's more than just Wrightson. There's also Frazetta, and I like to
What
share
number is this
Frazetta.
one?
This is my seventh favorite Frazetta piece. So
Okay.
let's take a look at that.
That was
It's a really
nice.
colorful piece. It's
Where have I seen it though?
Frost Giant's Daughter is where that story, that image is that image is from. But it was Conan the Cimmerian, or Conan of Cimmeria, was the name of the paperback that painting was used for.
Man, you're so full of it. I just don't.
I,
Oh, knowledge. Oh. Oh no, not the neck. Oh man, my neck. Now I'm only like 5'4".
shape up, sister.
Let's see. And he still, ooh, what?
Fact. I've been watching Aaron misspelled my name, so you know what you're going to get in a second. Aaron for years, and he still draws the same level as we were kids.
Good.
It's still awesome. Yeti Wax. I've been watching Aaron draw. Who are you, Yeti Wax? That you would know me
Oh my gosh.
from kids.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. You can private message it. Can you?
Yeah, if you don't want to reveal your identity, do so like through Facebook or something. Let me know. But
Wow, that's kind of scary.
well, the sad thing is he
I want
claims
dirt.
he
I want
says
dirt.
he's known me since I was a kid, and yet he can't spell my name.
It's all right.
Childhood memories or not, you get the cannonball.
Oh, draw Shelly sweating. That one, which is, yeah, all the time.
Aaron draws Shelly sweating with new air conditioning unit delivered for your tax write-off.
Once that happened, well, we did have to clean out kind of
You know,
a path in the garage.
we did so they could
yesterday.
install the. We have so much junk. We are
Oh
we
my
could be on
God.
those shows. What do they call them? The hoarders.
No, we're not that bad.
Well, yeah, we don't have like filth, but we just have a lot of stuff.
That stuff.
We do.
Well, and yeah, we just had gotten a lot of.
Keeping David in the green. He might become so cross he'll make a mistake. Of course, he's
So cross.
referencing Monty
I love
Python
that.
and the Holy Grail
Oh,
about the rabbit. If we taunt him, he'll become so cross he might make a mistake.
oh.
Anyway,
What else?
What else we got? Okay, I still have more. Okay, no,
Oh,
this
no.
is well. No, let's do this first. In the
You have not warned me about this.
no, I'm not going to do that yet.
Oh,
We're
okay.
going to do this because
This, another embarrassing thing.
no.
What?
Look at this is it's time for precious moments.
Oh,
Precious
precious moments.
You say that every week, and then you go, "What
What was
was that?"
I just keep hoping that it's precious.
Well, this kind of celebrates the having snacks.
Advanced.
This sort of celebrates the Halloween season.
Uh oh. Charlie Brown?
No, it's not Charlie Brown.
Oh.
Ovaltine. Nothing. Thank you. I'm a little tired.
We say that every day.
I know.
That
Then
was
never say-
precious. Good job. Finally.
Good night.
Good night. Good night.
So anyway, I would have loved to shown like that whole movie, but they would have shut us down. So I had a little
YouTube would have said, you
7
can't get your
second.
3 cents.
a little 7-second kind of thing there. So let's
That was
just-
attractive. Let me do that
let's
again.
take a quick look at what David's up to. Oh, that's nice.
Yep.
And out he goes.
Ah! Oh man. Okay, comments. You guys are on fire. Let's see. Ooh,
Do you have a White Claw tonight?
I don't yet. Frau Bluka. Thank you.
I
Oh
was
gosh.
concentrating on my snack.
Her name means glue. That's what I thought.
David is getting impatient because the concrete is drying faster than he is drawing. Oh my gosh.
Oh, David.
Mm-mm-mm.
It's happening already. Your Wraith is going to have product placement before he's done. That's right. Esther will be holding. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Is that why you asked? It's so funny. Well, if she's lucky, she's holding a can of White Claw.
And eating
Well,
it. We're
for
gonna
too
eat it.
much longer, I can't have any sugar for a while. So better.
They're going to be eating at Taco Bell in the issue too because I want to see if I can get a.
Maybe they could give her some
I
jewelry
dropped
from
it.
K Jewelers.
I dropped an M&M and I think the dog just found it.
Oh, great. Now he's going to die.
Mm,
Is it
there's a
down
little bit more chocolate now.
Ah, all right.
All right,
Mhm.
Shelley. Now,
What?
okay, here's the thing.
Where did you? Oh, it's down there.
Where?
It's right there.
No.
Pardon us
Oh.
for just a second. Did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Blow on it.
10
Second
seconds.
roll.
Still delicious.
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That one.
This
I was
one?
thinking this too.
Oops.
No.
It just.
What's it thinking?
We'll get to that in a second. I clicked on this by accident. Where she
By
says, I was
accident?
just thinking that.
By accident?
By accident. Like,
Oh. Oh my gosh. That
Aaron
was-
and Shelley Show, I would love to see a Wraith action figure in one of your
Mm-hmm.
campaigns, collector's item for sure.
yeah, that would
You
be
see how-
awesome.
you see how expensive, I mean, how much
Oh.
money Ethan had to raise just to break even
Yeah.
to do those toys? They're expensive,
But-
man.
Oh,
You know what
gosh,
I'd like to do?
Mhm.
I'd like to do like a statue.
Yeah.
That actually would be cheaper than action figures.
Oh, I love that. That would be really cool.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
I mean, the price point would be more expensive, obviously, but the overall
Mhm.
cost.
Very cool.
Uh,
Let's see.
hmm,
Let's see. Oh my gosh, that was.
almost made me choke here on my coffee. Good. Good. That's what we're here for. Oh, I love that.
Oh,
You can tell they're professionals.
Oh.
We practice all the time. Can't you tell?
what you see is what you get. Oh,
I know. I'm going to have to get one.
oh man. That's
There you
so
go.
Funny.
PVC route first.
Oh.
Cannonball, clear up that diarrhea.
Oh.
Oh, that was a good one.
Oh,
I'll
it
give
is
you
so
one of
like
these.
us
Yeah,
to
you
go.
give
Okay. Oh gosh, we go over there.
Okay.
Usually every Christmas. Can I? Huh? Yeah,
Go where?
I'm gonna
What?
leave. But no, every Christmas,
Diarrhea?
our son, as a family, it's kind of a tradition.
What the?
No,
what are you
Josh, but
talking
there was
about?
always some potty themed
Oh, I
gift
didn't
giving.
know. Okay. Okay, so
Just humor me.
Shelley has put together a new segment that she's going to be doing every week, and this is the premiere of it. So let's watch
Oh,
your
I'm
monitors and
nervous.
see what.
What'd you
No,
do?
no. It's very
Oh.
educational.
Oh, good. That's my thing. Cool.
Shelley, that was really interesting. Now,
It was, wasn't it?
the question that I want to know, and I think everybody else wants to know, is: do you actually own those paperbacks?
I do,
Well, could you share?
but they're
them with us?
special, so I keep them in plastic.
But look, they're like little
They're for
paperback
Rosie's.
plastic bags, like comic book bags.
Oh,
but
how cute is that? Doo-doo.
now, as you probably know,
It's warm in here.
you
Yeah.
probably know the paintings for these were done in 1967, but the books were actually published in 68.
Oh.
And one of the
By the
interesting-
author of Pune.
now this is what you would think. You would think that this called Solomon Kane would have been the first book, right? Wouldn't
Why?
that make sense? Because that's the character.
Oh, my
She
bad.
knows she's just playing dumb. Okay, but here's the thing.
Mhm.
This was actually the first book, The Hand of Cain.
Oh,
And if you look down the bottom corner, 75 cents.
wow.
Now, the second book that came out was
75 cents.
The Moon of Skulls.
Yeah.
$1.25.
Oh, inflation.
And then this is the
What if it
third
was published now?
book in the series,
How much?
and that's $1.25. So the very first book was 75 cents. But why wouldn't you call the first book Solomon Kane if there's stories about Solomon
I
Kane?
don't know.
And then
Can we
but
call him
who?
and ask him?
Solomon Kane? He was a pilgrim, so I don't think he's with us
Oh.
anymore.
With the fancy hat?
Now, before I bring David in and we get cooking on this drawing stuff,
Are these like Doc Savage books?
well, you should know it was your
Oh, yeah.
Shelley Showtime Presents.
So I said, warn me so I could prepare.
Yeah, that's what they're not like. Yeah, they're like Doc
Those-
Savage.
those-
books. Except for
Oh
Solomon
boy,
Kane.
those SJWs would love those Doc Savage books.
Oh my
I might have
gosh.
to read one on the air.
Oh my gosh, you would
They
trigger
would
so many
love
people.
me.
Now I want to share this
I
because I
have
just
never been
found it
so unpopular. No, popular.
popular and unpopular at the same
I'm not very
time.
popular. I've never been popular.
Well, you're popular with this crowd.
Um.
Look at all those comments; they're just
Oh
piling
yeah,
up.
piling. Oh my gosh.
Okay, this is the last thing I want to share before we bring David in.
Ooh, what is that? Ooh.
That is a Mike Plug werewolf coin. There was a Kickstarter a couple of years ago where they did like the Art of Mike Plug, a 2-volume set. And I ordered it and got this, and I just refound it as I was cleaning over there. And I thought, well, it's a werewolf, so that's sort of appropriate.
Nice.
And it's got a kind of a goofy bloodhound on the back.
Goofy.
Yeah.
Like Goofy?
So yeah, this was
Nice.
and it comes in its own little pouch,
Nice.
and then it has like it's 489 out of 500 certificate of authenticity
Wow, a tiny one.
right there that comes in it, signed by whoever authenticated it.
Oh, this is nice. Nice.
Thank you, Yeti Wax,
Oh,
who I've known since my childhood, but I don't know who that is. Until he reveals himself
all
to
right.
me.
David's now brought me into it. You feeling brave tonight, are you,
Mm.
David?
Let's find out how brave David actually
All right.
is, shall we?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen of the chat, please welcome renowned artist for Bass Reeves.
Oh, I hear that's pretty good.
And despite his constant attempts to get under my skin, I still consider him one of my very closest friends.
Oh, yeah.
And so
we love him.
let's bring him in and say hello to Mr.
Love David.
David Williams.
Woo!
There he is.
Yay! Oh.
Holy crap.
I hear it from the other room.
Is that like
David?
is there giant crickets or something? What the heck is that? Oh, my God.
What's up?
Oh,
Gee,
no.
man, what are you doing?
You had me waiting forever, man.
I told you
Yeah.
you can come in till 5:30, and then you put a sign up like that, so I had to make you wait a few
Yeah.
minutes.
Oh, but thanks, EJ and Susical Zero, for saying nice things.
Hi, Shelly. How you doing?
Hi, David. I'm doing all right. I'm vertical. That's a
There you
good
go.
day.
That is a
Yeah.
very good thing. Very good thing.
All right.
Yep.
So, David,
What?
you've been talking.
What?
You've been for weeks, maybe even months at this point, talking about this.
Years.
Why don't you ink your sketches over the pencils with these gray things, gray markers, which seals the pencil, and then you can color over the top, right? Isn't that what you've been telling me to do?
Yep.
Okay, well, that's what we're going to do today. You're going to show me and show our friends at home exactly what the heck
Well,
you're talking about.
Yep. All right.
question for you first.
I won't do a whole giant, piece, but I'll just give you examples of how to do it and how you could apply it to your work.
Well,
Because
we have to do a piece, like maybe a monster head or something.
yeah,
It is.
I mean, it'll be something.
It's the season.
It'd be something.
Hey,
So,
Cullen. Go ahead. Cullen wants to know, when is David going to challenge Fraga so he can win and then beat Aaron for the title?
then
Ooh.
five words.
Well, as I stated to Frega and people in his chats, everybody who goes on there, is great, and I suck, but I'm just better than Aaron.
Wow. Man, I don't think I've ever had to do this to a guest before, but
How'd you like that one?
yeah.
As long as I'm better than Aaron.
Oh.
Let's talk about you
Now, hang on a
calling me a
second.
nerd.
Wait a second.
Give it to
Hang on.
him. Give it to him.
That's for calling Shelley a nerd, and also
I prefer geek.
and
all right?
this and this. Little annoyed she is.
Hey, those cannonballs to the abs is just making me stronger. It's all good.
Oh,
It's giving me a 6-pack. So again.
We have too many marker fumes, I think. You might
6-pack. I'll be right
onto
back.
it. Okay. All right.
Here we go.
All right. So, okay. This is what I picked up. I got the Faber-Castell's, the Pitt artist pen. Isn't that what you wanted to
Yes.
get?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I got a couple of them.
Okay. What colors are yours?
I just got the cold gray 4.
I should have told you to get the warm gray for flesh.
Well, we're talking technique here. So you
Well,
know,
I'm letting your audience know as well. Cool gray is fine, for everything other than flesh.
right. I use a warm gray.
Um, I mean, you can. I'm not saying you can't. It's just going to seal in your pencils,
Right.
and so you
Hang on a
can
second.
get different variations of this that goes down to a much lighter, brown.
Okay, hang on a second. Let me give you full screen and then do that again, or show the pen again, will you? Hang on a second.
Gotcha.
Adjusting my camera. Okay. All right. All right. You're full screen now. So what do we got here?
So you could get these Faber-Castell brush pens, and they come in a set. And this is one of the darker ones, but it goes really, really light. Here's a cool gray.
Mm-hmm.
You could use that for everything other than flesh. I mean,
Right.
you can use it for flesh, but I prefer to use a warmer gray because we're all of the warmer complexion. You don't want something, to make it look muddy by putting something gray into
If it was zombie, then it would be okay, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yes. The grays are good for like everything else except for if something's primarily red, you want to go back to the warmer
Right.
grays and stuff. And you have to think about it as like almost animation, like or where they would take the black line out in Disney films.
Yep.
And they'd leave it for a color. And sometimes I'll use this too.
Now what is that?
Like these pilot pins. You
Okay.
can get these, their
Is that
secretaries use them.
Is that a red pen or is it a black
Yeah,
pen?
it's red. It's red.
Well,
And you can use that for if you want to do like contours and stuff like that. I'll show you an example.
show me an example.
See, I did this petty like face,
Mm-hmm.
and I put the red contour around it, and you could color over it once you leave it alone for a minute or two,
Right.
and it won't smudge. You know what I mean? This
Right.
is me coloring over it, and it's not pulling it up.
I gotcha.
Okay.
So that's all marker or watercolor? It's
yeah,
all
it's all marker.
okay.
And I'm using the whiteout pins that I'm hipped you
Right.
to, and and
Right.
highlights and all that other kind of stuff. And it creates that like how Leyendecker would do that white background where he would just slap white paint into it and stuff
Right.
to make the character pop.
You're out of focus, dude.
Oh man, sorry. I hate this camera. Sorry. But anyway, I'm gonna show these off. If I can, if it'll
A lot of
pick it.
focus.
I know. I'm trying to get it back into focus. Multi-liners.
Now, is that what you use mainly for your ink liners?
I just got these recently,
Okay.
but they come in a set of colors, and so
Okay.
you
Yeah.
could, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you can do like line work with those, but in different colors.
Exactly. And you could color over them and with your what do you call it? Your Copics, and it won't pull the colors.
It won't bleed.
The ink. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then if you're insistent on putting black ink on it, you put it on after, because your black ink will stay truer and it'll pop forward. It'll be a richer black.
I got you.
Okay.
Yep, makes sense. All right, so what are you going to draw?
Okay, I'll do a Batman because it has all the different kind of tones on it. You know what I mean?
I'm going to do a zombie since I didn't buy anything for warm flesh tones. So I'm going to go totally gray.
Yeah. Now, I'm doing my drawing. You think it's white paper, but it's not. It's off-white. So it already has a tone to it.
Yeah.
So that could bring another level to your drawing. I noticed you've been doing some things on tone paper as well, just so your camera could see
Right.
it.
Well, see, that's what I was kind of wondering if I should go white, but maybe I will go tone because this white paper again is reflecting like crazy, and you can't see the pencil line on it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go some tan paper here. But this is like really tan, so but that's all right.
While you're doing that, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat if I didn't already. Hope everybody's doing okay.
Well, now that you're here, David, they're fine, I'm sure.
I know I have that effect on people. Okay. What did you say you were going to draw?
I'm going to do like this zombie kind of, maybe like a Wrightson-ish kind of Frankenstein face thing.
Okay. Maybe I'll do the same thing too. Just for an example.
You know what? I sat here and I grabbed tan paper, but I should have gone cool gray because I'm going to keep the death theme. It doesn't make any sense to do Frankenstein on a warm gray, does it? Or a warm brown and then ink him in a cool gray. So hang on a second. I'll get this figured out eventually. All right. All right, I'm ready. Let the games begin.
I changed my mind again. I'm going to go back to Batman.
Okay.
He's a monster of sorts to some people.
That's right.
But I'll do a whole bunch of different heads maybe, just because it's just a learning thing. It's not something to adorn on your wall or anything like that.
Well, maybe not for you.
Yeah.
So how detailed do you do in your pencil stuff?
It could vary, you know. If you really like your pencils, that's the other thing. Like you could go really detailed. You know, I'd avoid, you know, grinding into it and stuff like that. But if you really are into your pencils and you know when you do a layout and then you try to blow it up or make it and you lose some energy or something like that.
Yep.
So you could do that and you could maintain that energy and say, okay, I don't want to lose this thing in the pencils, and go over it with your Pitt artist pen, and the integrity of what you had will still be there.
Right.
And you can pick up all the lines you want. So I'll probably, on this one, I'll render it just a little bit, just to give you an example to see how much you could render without losing some of that integrity. And
yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was. The question I was getting at was how messy do you want your drawing, right? You know what I mean? If you're kind of loose sketching on here, I'm going to have a lot of lines. It's kind of like, do you even, think about cleaning it up before you put the gray marker over the top, or do you just put the gray marker over the top, like the stuff you want to keep, and then clean it up?
Yeah, exactly. You could erase after.
Okay, I got you.
And some of those ones that you don't want will disappear.
Right.
And that's the other cool thing. It's like Photoshop without Photoshop.
All right.
Hey, did you see the new Batman trailer?
Yeah. So is like Robert Pattinson, is he like what do they call it? Emo or something like that? Kind of a goth.
I mean, everybody uses that a little bit too much because
he looks a little bit goth to me in that.
I know, but those people are specifically going for that thing.
Right.
This guy is just, legit, peeved and, recluse and all that type of thing. He's not shopping at Hot Topic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, do you like it? I mean, you're the big.
I loved it. I was like, whoa! I didn't want to like it, but I was just like, this is actually awesome.
Well, everybody criticizes that every time especially it seems like Batman's the one that no matter, who does it or what changes or whatever however they portray him, people are always like, oh, I hate it. They hated Michael Keaton. I don't know if they hated Christian Bale, but they probably did. So I don't know. I mean, I always kind of reserve judgment. You can't really. It looks very strange to me, but at least not in the kind of Batman that I would expect. But at the same time, as I was telling Shelley, it's like if you keep doing the same stuff over and over and over again, what's the point, right? So they might as
Exactly.
well try something a little different.
Well, I mean, for years everybody was saying, "Man, I wish they would make a Batman movie that's kind of like The Crow," and I'm like, now this guy does it, and if it, they're like, "Oh, boo hoo," I'm like, wait a minute, and the thing is that we had, the hyper fantasy version of Batman where Mr. Freeze in a weird costume exists, and we had a Batman where a killer croc in that world can exist. But
Right.
this guy is grounding it in so much reality. He's saying, okay, what if the opposite way of doing that is the actual trick of this character? Because we're making it so realistic. He's not trying to give him like this polished, clean, super bat suit and stuff like that. He's giving him a suit of a person who has to slap it together, and he's not, waiting on a Lucius Fox to give him this suit in like less than a day, and so that might be the thing where the trick is we're taking away your suspension of disbelief and we're making it reality, and that ends up in turn makes the movie magic for you because he's all, whoa, he made sense of this. How did he do that?
Well, that's always kind of the trick, isn't it? I think that's what we all thought might be the problem with the Marvel movies was that, how do you get me to believe that, Captain America or, Iron Man, and although they were very light in their portrayal of them, lighthearted, in a sense, it wasn't dark like this Batman movie looks like, but they did find a way by creating this sort of fantasy world that these guys could exist in that I bought it. So it's interesting. Of course, Batman doesn't have the same problem because he doesn't really have superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a dude,
Well, this is the thing that I noticed as far as these movies are concerned. When you got in, you said you're a Marvel kid, but you liked Marvel because they were more realistic, right?
Well, realistic in the sense that like Star Wars is realistic in that they created a universe that I accepted, and then you stay consistent within that universe, and then you can buy it. But yeah, I mean, they made it in a way that you believe that these characters could exist. It didn't seem stupid, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Exactly, but they put him in a real world. They put Peter Parker in an existing world. Not Gotham, not Metropolis, not Bloodhaven, not any of that kind of stuff. And where if you have that kind of stuff, your suspension of disbelief, you could push it further because there is no Gotham or Metropolis or any of that, and when Marvel dealt with stories, they took them a little bit more serious instead of the silly stuff that DC was doing.
Right.
Until DC turned and said, hey, we got to do what those guys are doing now. Neil Adams got them out of their, silliness, with Batman and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
But in the movies, it went the opposite way. The DC stuff got hyper serious, almost too serious for some. And then the Marvel ones got silly, but people were all right with that. It wasn't like an exact representation of what the comics were saying.
Right.
Or the moods and themes and stuff like that.
AJ Tom says, got to bounce out, Aaron, Shelley, and David. May God bless you all. Thanks so much for the stream and art lesson. I'll have to watch the rest tomorrow. Can't wait to try this technique out. There you go. Thank you, AJ.
Take care, AJ. And the thing is, kind of topsy-turvy as far as the films are concerned.
Yes.
But Marvel kind of found its first, it had many voices. It was taking it serious up until they started introducing Thanos. Once it got into like introducing that world of Thanos, it started becoming like Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
It became weird, you know.
Yes.
You know, and then they went back on that when they did Winter Soldier. It's like, oh man, we're going serious again. And then it went back to because of Guardians of the Galaxy and that thing. Now everything is a joke in the movie. We got to get more claps and more laughs, you know, in all of our movies from henceforth, you know, because if you go back and look at Captain America's Winter Soldier, there's no way you could look at that and go, oh, the Russo brothers directed the Avengers after that and stuff, because it seems like schizophrenic. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like the same people directed it.
Well, that's a good point, because that's one of the reasons why my son Josh loves Winter Soldier, his favorite movie, because it's really sort of an espionage type, you know,
Yeah,
government.
it's most people's favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have that sort of, it has more like a, you know, a military action adventure sort of feel to it, as opposed to a, you know, space age, like you know, a Starlin universe, which basically is what they brought in with Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Has a whole different vibe to it.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready to start inking here.
Me too. Well, don't start. Well, start with your.
I got my gray.
Okay. What shade of gray do you have?
Now I just have I got a cold gray 4, it looks like.
All right. Well, that's a good one. Yeah. So start attacking it wherever you can. And you could ink it like how you would normally ink something, and you could add flourishes that you didn't do in the pencils.
Right. Just treat it like I'm basically like inking a drawing, and I want to put, if I want to put some more in there, I'll do it. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't usually use these brush pens, but
do me a favor. Just stop where you are right now.
yes.
I want you to. You see how beat up this is?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can.
Well, let me put you on full screen. Hang on a second. All right, go ahead.
When it gets beat up like this and you still want a nice tip, these are made to take out, and it has another tip on the other side.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you could swap it back out. So
if it gets too rounded and I can't get that point.
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right, cool. How about that?
All right, that's all I wanted to show you.
Well, no, I didn't even know that. I mean, I was throwing away Copics for years until Tim Townsend's like, dude, you know you can refill those, right? I'm like, what? So, yeah.
Well, I gotta find myself another one of my. Here we go.
I don't know if this is a zombie or if this is Frankenstein's monster, all the rights, but I guess they're pretty much the same thing.
Wait, what was that?
No, I said I'm not sure if this is a zombie or Wrightson's Frankenstein, but they're pretty much the same thing, I guess.
It's yours now. You can do whatever
right.
you want with it. It's going to end up in Wraith of God somewhere.
That's right. I'm going to have to do a zombie story eventually with him. So then you go over the top of these with, see, that's the thing that I've done a little bit differently, and that's why probably I haven't done this before, is because I just usually grayscale my marker commissions where you're actually doing color.
Yeah. Well, I noticed when you do your color,
I do colored pencils though generally.
Huh?
I use colored pencils generally.
Yeah. But sometimes, like when you do gray, you'll do gray after.
Right.
I do gray first. And if you do gray first and then add color on top of it, it becomes a better shadow instead of
right
after, you know.
Because you're establishing your values first.
Exactly.
think it's probably just laziness on my part. It's just like you do stuff, we get so used to doing basically what are con sketches, right? Where you just, you draw it, you use your black pen to go and do the inking, and then throw a little color over the top, and you're done. But this is interesting because I'm gonna play with this a little bit because I can see how this works now.
You know what else it works on? Like if you're doing a painting.
Now, are you talking about, like watercolor?
Yeah, I did one even with acrylic. I did it with a watered down acrylic where I was able to paint over it.
And these don't bleed at all.
No, not at all. It's amazing. I was just like, I'm a painter now, because I was always losing the art every time I would do it. But it's up to you how transparent or opaque you want to make the thing.
Right. Well, I've always used my underpainting. I've always used acrylic.
Yeah.
I mean, if I was doing oil paintings, right, I would go in and do acrylic. If I'm doing watercolors, a lot of times I will go in with a pencil and put my values in, and then watercolor over the top of that. Sort of seal it with a
kiss
haze of watercolor, and then go over the top of that. But I hadn't thought of using the gray markers. That's a really good idea, actually.
Yeah. I don't know how to share something with you, but did you ever see the Mr. Freeze piece I did?
Well, if it's what I'm thinking about, yeah.
Well, I have a step-by-step of how I think on my DeviantArt page where I show that I have those gray tones that I do all over the whole entire thing, and then I literally just paint it over it, and then voila, it's done.
Where let me do you well, you know what, if you send me a link in the private chat,
Yeah.
I can put it up in the
Okay.
I think I can put it up in the chat, and I can add it to the video after we go off air too,
Okay.
so people can link to it, check it out.
All right, let me see.
So do you fill in when you're doing with your gray? Do you just do line work, or do you fill in your shadow areas with that gray too, and then make a decision later if you want to put your black in over the top of that?
Wait, rephrase the question again. Say it again.
Well, if you have like heavy areas that are going to be would be like, say, in a normal comic book situation, would be like the shadow under his chin, right?
Yeah.
Do you fill all that in with the gray, or do you just leave that to fill in black later, or do you just fill it in?
I try to avoid black when I'm doing these types of things. I try to avoid black on skin altogether. So yeah, you could fill it in with this.
Fill it in with the marker then.
Yeah.
Shadowed areas, okay.
The only time I'll have black is probably on the mouth, on the line on the mouth, or eyebrows or eyelashes or irises, but everything else I leave it as a color.
Gotcha.
I haven't been to my DeviantArt page in forever, so I'm trying to find this thing for you.
Trying to think, if you just want to share an image.
Yeah, I just a couple of them. I could grab them and send them to you.
Yeah, actually do that. If you send them to me on where would you send them? Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and send them over to Instagram, and then I can just bring them up and share them on the thing. I thought you had a video of you doing it. So.
No, I'm gonna do videos on my page on my YouTube page whenever I get that going.
So what are you doing right now, or can you not say? Are you working on the thing we talked about, or?
No, not yet.
Okay. So are you just working on your stuff then?
No,
Your-
I'm working on Bass Reeves, and I'm finishing up commissions that I got.
Okay. Are you on the last issue of Bass Reeves at this point? Or are you still working on 5?
The last few pages on 5, but like I said, I had to finish some commissions. Some very patient clients of,
Yes.
they need their products, so I gotta hook them up. So I generally tend to, like, when it takes forever, I hook them up with some extra stuff that they weren't expecting.
Well, that's cool. So now, do you do a drawing on your? Do you do a drawing on your package art all the time? I mean, I've seen you do that before, and I was kind of like, "What the heck, man?"
No, that was just recent because I was doing mystery packages, right?
Yeah.
And the art, kind of gets them going, like, whoa,
Right.
I want that. Whatever is in, wrapped in that, I want it,
So so you did a mystery package that you wrapped in the paper that you did the drawing on, but then you wrapped it again because that drawing was not. You didn't leave that for the postal people to see.
No. What I ended up doing is that I cut it out and I put it in the package, pristine and flat and all that kind of stuff, like it's a piece of art.
Right.
But when I show the picture, it looks as if, oh, it's it's wrapped like this, because I've done that before back in the 90s, where I did a drawing on the outside of, so, oh, here's a nice little drawing, and the guy got it and he said, hey, there was tire marks across this. I was just like, oh man, this guy who delivered it is a butthole and had to roll over it,
Well, I would be more concerned if they would like rip it off and steal it. But it just goes to show you that no appreciation for art, right? They just drove over the truck, then rolled up, rammed it into a mail slot, right? Please do not.
Who does this person think he is to draw on this package? It's just
I'll show him
that kind of weird stuff. All right, I'm almost finished grabbing these pictures. And when I did this Mr. Freeze, I only used like 2 or 3 acrylics. That's it. But everything else is gray markers and the Pitt artist pens and gray markers.
And you did those underneath, and then you painted over the top. Is what you're saying?
Yes. All right. Let me see.
Let me know when they're there, and then I'll go get them.
I'll do that.
This is really very interesting. I hadn't really. Now, do these Faber-Castells, these brush pens, basically, do they come in a finer point, or are they all pretty much Bs? I didn't even look at those
B only means brush.
Okay. So where is my? Yeah, it says B on here, but where's my pen size or tip size?
They don't, when it's a brush like this, it doesn't have different sizes.
So it's all the same then.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just grabbing one more picture and I'll send them over.
All right. This does have a very interesting look. I'm almost done inking this, so I'm going to give it, take full screen here for a second while you're doing that.
All right.
So this is on a gray pad of paper with a gray, inked with a gray Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen.
How did you feel when you're doing it? Does it feel weird inking that way?
Because I can't quite get the super fine line stuff, because when I'm which is fine, because when I'm sketching,
Hello? Hello? Did I lose you?
I'm sorry, I cut myself out of the stream.
Okay.
No, what I was saying was that I when I do sketches and stuff, I usually use a finer tip pen and do cross hatching and stuff like this, where this is more of a broader stroke to it. I mean, I can do some fine stuff here if I do a light touch, but it's not quite the same. It's certainly not what I'm used to, so it feels a little weird, but I do like the look of it.
Yeah. And then when you go over it with color, all that stuff will still be there, and then you could go pluck in or pop in, a black contour if you want, or
Right.
pop, blacks where you choose, to pop things forward, or a darker green or darker blue or whatever it is. So my camera's gone gray. I sent the pictures so
Okay.
you could show them.
I will go grab them while you try and get your camera back in focus.
Yeah, I can't, I don't know why it does this.
I'm going to run over here to, this is a perfect reason why to have two browsers, so you can multitask. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. All right. I should be able to just drag these out of here and put them on my desktop. So let's hope, yes. Yep, okay. Cake. Are these in the order you want me to show them, or no?
Not really. I mean, I think people will get the gist.
Okay, so that's color. So I'll save that one for. Okay, that's black and white. Okay. All right, so we'll start with this one. Okay, I think I got it in a reasonable order here. All right. So I'm going to go full screen here and share these. So you can watch your screen for a minute, David, and then comment on these as they come up.
Okay.
All right, so I want to start with, start with this one. Okay, so that,
Yeah,
but
okay, that's
right.
There's the initial sketch on over in the folder on the left, and then I transferred it onto a board.
But that's black. That's not gray.
No, it is gray. It's not black.
Well, how? Okay,
I
I
used-
got a closer shot. Let me switch to the closer one.
I used the darkest cold gray.
Okay, okay. So let me take a look at this next one, because I think this actually probably shows it better. Where is it? There we go. Okay,
Yeah.
so you did all of that. Okay, I can see the in the clouds behind him, or the mist or whatever behind him. I can see it clearer.
Yeah. And like if you could close up on, when you see closer up on the face, you'll see where I'm able to feather and use those pit pens to get those kind of comic booky feathering lines that people do.
Yeah, it's a little, when I get too close to this one, it blurs a little bit. But,
There's another picture that's
right, okay.
But you're able to pick up all those kind of comic booky details, the thick to thins and all that kind of stuff. And you could also shade with it if you want. You don't want to do too much. Like I used different values of that gray. So I used a lighter and a darker one to create those feathering things from light to dark to create the light effect. Yeah, like if you could close up on that face a little bit more.
Yeah, let me.
If possible.
Yeah. Oh, I see. We got some line work coming out of that.
Yes. Yeah.
And you use basically the darkest cool gray to get like a gray, what, an 8 or 9 or something. I don't know how high it goes up. I assume it goes to like.
Yeah. So this was probably, it went from the lightest one, and I kept on building it up to where I go, okay, now I feel I could paint over it. You know?
Right, like you'd be doing a watercolor or something. You're starting
exactly
and building up to your values up.
Exactly.
Okay.
And I could have went all marker with this, but I chose to use watercolor. I mean, not acrylics, just because it would pop a little bit more, and I wanted a little bit of more of the unpredictability of it because I was diluting it so much.
Right.
And
everybody's commenting on me bouncing myself earlier. That I'm such a boomer. It's so true. All right, let's take a look at the color.
Yeah.
Okay, so on this one, this is acrylic, not watercolor.
It's all acrylic. No, I can't use watercolor. It's
really?
all acrylic. Yeah, I never mastered it. It drives me crazy.
So do you? How thin do you? I mean, that's pretty thin. It looks like a wash.
Yeah, it's very thin. Yeah, it's literally that. But you could go over it as many times as you can. That stuff will still be there.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I like it so much. I was just like, whoa, you know. I'm going to do some more of that type of stuff. I think I'm going to probably do most of my covers for my stuff that way.
Yeah, it's very cool because then you go in with your highlights up here and you go in with that really thick, opaque. Did you use that Presto white pen for those white highlights there, or is that just white acrylic paint?
That's just white acrylic.
Okay.
And I think I even used the off-white because I didn't want it too hot. Excuse me. But I think you could do some really cool stuff with this technique.
Yeah.
Because after I saw what you do as far as painting, I was like, oh wow, he'll pick this up like, you know, real easy.
Yeah, I can totally see what you're doing here. And so this is just a commission piece you did?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, did you do this on just like this regular? I mean, this colored paper we get these tonal pads are actually fairly heavy duty. Is that just what you used here?
No, like, I use some of that crescent board that they have, you know, for real painting. I mean, you could technically do it on comic book paper. You know, like I said, if you dilute it enough, you don't have to wet the board so much, because once you just go over it, it's there. You like the color you're trying to achieve. You don't have to go over it and over and over and over ad nauseum, you know,
Right.
because you've already mostly knocked down most of your values with the
Right.
with the grays.
Right. Interesting.
I was almost considering. I said, man, I could probably paint a book like this.
You know, it's always tempting to do that, because you see guys that went and did, you know, painted books, you know, guys like Dave McKeon and people like that. You know, Sienkiewicz obviously has done it. But you think, oh my gosh, the amount of time it would take me to do an entire book, you know, but I can see how this might be a little bit quicker, because it's, in some ways, it's a lot like we're doing right here. You're just kind of doing a marker drawing, but then you kind of go over the top of it with a kind of a wash
Mm-hmm.
to color in, but your tones are already established. You're not doing it with the color.
Yeah.
Which of course is the trick to successful painting, is establishing your values first,
Mm-hmm.
and then going in with your color over the top of that, and it makes it much easier, because you can get distracted by putting color on there, because it's hard sometimes to see the value when you're getting blinded by the color. But if you can do it as a grayscale, then you can see the values clearly, and then you kind of go in over the top of that with the color with those values already established.
Yeah.
That's very cool, man. I'm trying to figure out. See, I don't have any colored markers, because I really want to go in. I guess I could just go in with gray markers, couldn't I?
Yeah, I think you could. Yeah.
Maybe I'll just do that.
What do you mean you don't got any color markers?
I don't.
What have you been coloring your other stuff with?
Colored pencils.
You had some marker stuff in there. Your base is no way.
Well, I have a red.
You have more than that.
I have a red, a green, and a light blue. That's all I have color-wise.
Hold on, somebody's calling me. Hold on. Hello? Yo, I'm live streaming. Can I hit you back?
I'm going to go in here with the C3, I think. Let's see what happens.
I'm doing it right now. Let me hit you back. All right. He's all live streaming. I never seen you do a live stream. How do you do that?
Right now, man. I'll tell you later.
Exactly. I'm like, I'll forward it to him.
So then basically, then you get all your color in, or your values, and then you're going to go in and then you make a decision about where you want to drop some black in after that.
Exactly. So I'll have it right here, right? I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna erase all the stuff that I don't need, because I basically know.
Move Batman to your right just a little bit. There you go.
I generally know where I'm gonna be placing my color, so I don't have to be slavish to it. Some people are not as brave to, knock out this much of a drawing and just have it be like that.
Right.
But I still see a little bit of the pencils to where I could,
you want to do so.
Finish it. So, so I get out all my, typical colors for the people of lighter tone, but look at this. Look at what they put on there. Can you see that?
I can't read it now. It's fuzzy. What does it say?
It says skin white. Rosses.
Do they have skin black?
That's what I'm saying. They should equal opportunity scheming. So anyway, I'm gonna start, going over the very thing that, you're like, oh, it's so muddy. It kind of mutes it once you start putting color.
And that doesn't bleed at all. How about that? And that's a Copic going over the top.
Yeah, it's a Copic just going right over it. It's not pulling it up. It's not doing anything weird.
Dude, hold that up to the camera, will you, so we can see like that shadow underneath his lip and everything. So, yeah, okay, cool. So you got that gray underneath there, but it's not bleeding. How about
It's
that?
not bleeding. Yeah. I was so happy when I accidentally did it, you know, and I'm like, hey, it's not bleeding. Let me see if I could do this and this and oh man. So I'm like really scrubbing it in there and it's not pulling it up, you know. And so I could add even more layers of
Well, you went in with a much what gray was that? What value was that gray? 'Cause
um this one I used. Which one? Oh, I didn't use that one. Yeah, I used a darker one under some of it where it was warm gray 273 and
oh, I've got a warm gray right here. I thought it was cool.
and 232, and I think I got one more that I was using.
Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. I got a 273 warm right here.
Wow. And I have this one, a 272. This is like real light, you know. So I could add a little rose to his lips. And again, you know, it's not going into the gray or pulling up the gray into it. Or if I was to use black first, it would
Pull it
get
out.
on the tip of the Copic because the Copic pulls ink.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So this will help you avoid that to where you don't have to scrub away forever to hide that type of stuff.
Right. No, that's the problem I have all the time is because I have to be really careful.
Yeah.
Because it, you know, when you ink it black and you go over it with even the grays, when I'm doing tonal work, I'm not even using color, it pulls the black.
Yeah. And
Right.
here's another thing you could do too, like when you're doing flesh, like on men or whatever, or if you want to give them like a 5 o'clock shadow, don't use gray. Use like a blue first, like this light blue, like pale,
Right.
Celestine blue. So you could just go in there and start throwing it in there, and it gives them like the perfect 5 o'clock shadow without it being just ugly gray.
You know, that's interesting because when I do like Photoshop, I use a blue or a mauve to do the, you know, like a little 5 o'clock shadow on somebody. But
Yeah.
when I'm, you know, but you're right. That's one of the things when you're doing underpainting, which is essentially what you're doing with these grays,
Mm-hmm.
is if you use a cool gray or even a neutral, and you put flesh tone over the top of it, it has a kind of that cold, dirty feeling to it. Whereas if you're using warmer colors underneath,
Mm-hmm.
it feels more natural.
Yeah.
Or,
And also
go ahead.
I was gonna say, as far as shadows are concerned, to avoid using black, you could use like purples and dark blues.
Right. Well, it's funny because when I paint, I never use black.
Yeah. So yeah,
Because
you
dark.
in all your hard shadows, use purple or dark blue
Yeah.
over your grays, you know, because
Right.
it'll give it a depth from, you know, the foreground parts of the body and stuff like that. It almost creates an ambient light.
Yeah. Now, that's something I learned at a very early age was do not, in your painting, don't use black, just like you don't use pure white. I mean, I have used pure white before, but I know why you're not supposed to because it's just too stinking bright when if you're adding your highlights after the fact and all the colors are already there, you don't need pure white, especially on a darker color.
Yeah.
And it'll pop really well, but if you put on a pure white, sometimes it's so bright it's unnatural. I mean, it depends if you're going for an effect or not, but I mean, the rule of thumb obviously is do not use pure white and don't use pure black.
Yeah.
think I was like 14 or something when I first started experimenting with oil paints, and all I really had for any sort of reference was, comic book art. So, I was shading in a character, the black areas, but I was using black oil paints for the shadow areas, and it just was just a horrific mess. I was like, and of course at 14, you're like, you don't have a clue. I mean, well, I didn't, you may have, but, so like, how are they getting these darks, how are they getting these shadows? And it's like, well, you're mixing darker colors, but you're not doing it with a black. But yeah, it's nice when you figure that stuff out. You're like, wow, this actually works.
Yep. Like when those things happen, you're like, oh my gosh, I found out the secret. I'm going to be unstoppable. And then you don't do it again.
Yeah, I know. 3 years, you're like, I can't even remember what I learned.
Yeah. What was that thing I said I was going to be? Oh, okay. Never mind.
I will say one thing, though, and Adam Hughes told me this, and I agree with him, having experienced it. He said, because he was obviously kind of ahead of the curve with all of us in terms of
digital
computer coloring and digital stuff, and I was like, don't you miss painting? And he goes, the thing is, he said, even though you're doing it digitally, he says it really helps your painting, and he's right, because you're basically doing the same thing. You're just doing it with a computer, but then even if you're doing it with a brush, you learn techniques and understand how to sort of get what you want, and so you do, even if you're not picking up a brush all the time, you're still gaining knowledge and understanding of how to work with color, and then it's just a matter of time of getting used to the medium again, and then you can do some really cool stuff because you've learned those tricks of values and color and. So I'm using the same brown pen now. I'm going back over my cool gray with that brown that you were using, the 273, which is much darker.
Mm-hmm. I'm going in with ink because I'm just trying to give you a general idea. I'd probably do a lot more other colors on here to make things a little bit more exotic, I guess. But I'm just giving you guys the gist.
Right. I wish I had, actually, I think I do have, if I can find it, I think I have one flesh tone marker someplace that I've never used. I bet I could go over this just to kind of see what it would do.
Mm-hmm.
If I can find the dumb thing. I think I know where it's at. So I never got a full set of colors because they're just so stinking expensive. And
I have to get a new set myself because mine are beat up and run out, but they're so damn expensive, man. It's killing me.
But dude, you can get refills for them. It's, right?
But that's for the grays, right? Or is it for all of them?
They have refills for all the colors.
Really? Okay.
They're not, but they're about a little bit more expensive than the pen itself. But over the long haul, God, what did I do with that thing? My studio is such a disaster. I have one flesh-colored pen, and trying to find it in this mess is. Oh, how unfortunate of me. Normally it's one of those things, I see it all the time and it just sits wherever it's at, and now I need to find it and I have no clue where it is.
It's hiding from you like the left sock.
Got tons of colored pencils, but I really want to put some marker over the top of that and see what it does. But I'm not going to put green over it. Well, as long as you're still drawing, you can stall for me. Something to watch while I swore it was right here in this door. Speaking of grain, you know what really ticks me off?
Mm.
You know, you've seen color pictures of like Karloff as Frankenstein, right?
Yeah.
And he's always green, right?
Yeah.
Because they used green makeup on him because it made his face look more pale and, you know, like dead flesh or something. But when people do color, oh, that'll work. Now I got a Winsor Newton brush marker here.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, it's tan, but it'll do the trick, I think. So anyway, they would go over, and people do like colored drawings of Frankenstein. They always make him green, which really pisses me off because he's not supposed to be green. The only reason they use green makeup is to make him look more pale and death-like. So even if you're doing a color picture of Frankenstein, he still shouldn't be green. So anyway, that's just
But I think the Munsters also reinforced it too.
Right.
Once they did that TV show and then they did the movie and they're like, no, he's green, you know. So now everybody thinks it.
Yep. All right, I'm going over this with this tan brush pen, and you're right, man. It is not bleeding at all.
Yep. So I'm going to add some stubble action on the bats.
Now, who was the first person that you recall that gave Batman sort of like an unshaven, unkept look?
Sam Keith.
Was it Sam Keith?
I think so. Because when I saw it, I was always going, ugh. But I'm like, okay, it worked. It ended up working on me.
God, this doesn't come up at all.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, hang on a second. I'm going to go full screen on mine because mine's a little bigger than yours, and so people can see what I'm.
It's not bigger than mine.
my drawing is. Okay, so as you can see this, you guys can see I've got a little bit of a tan marker here, and even as I'm pushing down pretty hard on this, and that gray underneath is not bleeding a bit. And these aren't even the same brand pens. So I'm using a Winsor Newton brush marker that I just happened to find. That's great. And then, like you said, after I do all this, I can go in if I want to punch up some areas with black. I can do that over the top of it.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous. Fabulous. What about the ear, Aaron? I'm working on it. It's not done yet. Gee, many Christmas. It's like my daughter. That doesn't look right. I go, I'm not done with it yet. Let me finish it before you start, critiquing it. I'm pushing really hard on this too, and it's not doing it. It's not bleeding. That's great.
Here you go, Aaron.
Oh, sweet. I'm going to give you full screen.
So, like I was pushing in there and I used a bunch of colors. I used blue. I used different peaches, different pinks and all that kind of stuff, and it didn't pull up the gray tone that I wanted in there. And also got gray tones on the perimeter of the black, so it'll be soft where I need it.
So did you go in and put black in there, or are we looking at really dark gray? Okay.
The black is right here after the fact, and also this core area.
Okay.
And I put black on the mouth just to make it pop just a little.
Right. Okay. And what did you use? You used your Copic black line markers for?
No, you can use whatever black you want. I mean, if you want to be real refined about it and stuff, just get Indian ink and just go in there and it'll be real black.
Wait a minute, did you say Indian ink or India?
India.
Because
India.
Indian ink would be considered racist.
Yeah, India ink.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go in and hit some black over the top of this, I think. Well, I better put a little bit more work into the hair here before I.
How's everybody doing in the chat? I hope there's still people there. I hope we didn't bore them to death.
No, man. See, when we start like talking about technique and stuff, everybody just kind of like settles in and listens and tries it at home. You've got, let's see. We got there's looks awesome. Let's see here. Past Master Dan says, nice, Brohawk. D. Berry says, that's badass, David. No one said anything about mine. The guys are talking amongst themselves, too. There we go. Dr. Mask's Retro Elixir says, Bats is looking good. Pretty good. I like the Batman, Dave. Reminds me of the animated series. That's what Geek Avenger says. So you're getting a lot of positive there. No, everybody's like, Aaron, are you still on the show? No.
Oh.
No. Nice Batman, Dave. Oh, here we go. Someone's asking me a question. Is this a zombie or a specific character? And I missed the beginning. It's kind of a cross between Wrightson's Frankenstein and a zombie. So nothing in particular. Did you have another head you wanted to draw, David?
Yeah, I could do another one if you want. Is there?
Yeah, go ahead. 'Cause I want to finish this zombie first before we close out. So I think I can get it done in about 20 minutes or so. So if you want to start another piece,
All right.
a little bit bigger if you can this time, will you? Come on, man.
Hey. I'm drawing on the same paper here. This is just an example. You're the Padawan up in this piece.
Nice. Well, you got to do a monster, dude. It is, it's October.
What should I do?
Well, let's see. If you did a mummy, that would be. Well, you'd have like the mottled flesh coming through from the bandages. If you did that, you could do a werewolf. That might be too much work. Classic Frankenstein's always fun. Then you can do them green and piss me off.
Okay, I'm doing Frankenstein just to piss me off.
Frankenstein and make him green just to piss me off.
Yeah, all right.
Let's see, that gives you the color already to go over the gray with.
Yep.
I'm helping you out, man. I'm here for you, Dave. I'm here.
Now, I'm not using any ref. I'm just doing it from
Well, yeah, I mean, you just don't.
memory.
No one's saying it's, it has to look like Karloff. Just the design. Classic Frankenstein design. So that actually, was it a gatefold that you showed me of all your characters for your creator own book?
Yeah.
Now, is that going to be a gatefold cover, or was that just a kind of a promo piece that you were working on?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. It might just probably just be a promo thing for people to get.
Where's my? I got such a mess here, man. I can't find anything. You know, they say a messy desk is a sign of a genius. So I don't know if it's true. I don't know if that's true or not, but I must be a freaking genius because I have amazing mess going. So, what is your anticipated date of completion with Bass Reeves, or when would you like to be done with that? And then, like,
I think I'll probably be done with Bass Reeves in hopefully by the end of December, and jumping into my stuff immediately.
right. Now, since you want to get your book finished before you actually put it out,
Yeah.
fundraise.
Yeah.
So basically, the idea then would be that they'd order your book, and when your campaign's over, you're ready to go to the printer and ship that sucker as soon as it gets back from the printer. So they wouldn't have to be waiting very long to get it.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Excuse me. But when you're working on it, obviously, you're going to have to take another work to pay for it while you're working on it.
Yep.
So what's your philosophy or theory on why you're doing it that way, as opposed to getting the money up front?
I mean, I know there's people who have issues with getting their product on time,
Yeah.
And even me just doing commissions and having them linger and stuff like that is, I don't like the stress on that, and I don't like leaving anybody lingering and stuff like that, and plus I want to do something good. So I'd rather just have it done so I won't have to deal with, any kind of those kind of frustrations with the clientele. They deserve to have their product at a reasonable time.
I know. I have to admit, as fast as I am and as reliable as I've been in my career, it's still, you sit there and think, okay, this needs to go to the printer at the end of January, and it's like I got to do like almost 80 pages. I'm halfway through October and I'm on page 7, so you're kind of like, I got to kick this into gear, and it's so I'm feeling it a little bit. But I also have quite a bit of confidence in my ability to get stuff done on time.
Sure. Right, you had far more practice than me. When you're working in consumer products, that kind of pressure isn't the same,
Right.
And also, even in animation, even though it's a sort of a breakneck, but not to the level of a comic book, which I think is pretty sad that comics fostered that for so long for artists and stuff. That's why people don't respect our as art. You know what I mean?
Or you mean like pushing at the deadline so you can't do your best work all the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this Danky Frankly asked, when do the collected editions of the Legion's arts come out? I know they're working on the first 3 they're going to package the first 3 here pretty soon. But I'm not sure when it exactly stuff is going to come out. I don't know when any of this stuff is going to come out, to be perfectly honest. I just have my head down and just trying to do the work and, you know, move on.
You really sort of, your involvement in Allegiance is sort of as a hired gun for this project, right?
Yes. Yes.
And then whatever goes on beyond that is sort of out of your control.
Exactly. I mean, I would always have people saying, "Hey, what's going on with Walmart?" And I'm like, how am I supposed to know that? I don't know. You know, that's you know, Walmart's issue. That's the Breitweiser's issue with them, and you know, they're taking care of business, and they've always been good to me, and they pay me on time, and that's all that really matters.
It's going to be really interesting to see where the industry and the market is at, even just a year from now.
Yeah.
Because I think, I mean, there's a lot of people trying to get into, you know, crowdfunding right now, and are having mixed results. But I don't think a lot of people understand the amount of promotion that goes into the project. You can't just say, "Oh yeah, I worked for DC and Marvel for 25 years. Buy my book," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of that's the thing about it. It's like it's a whole nother level of work. Whereas, you know, if you're just an artist or a writer for, you know, most of your career, you don't just get the luxury of saying, "Oh, I'm just going to write and draw this book and then put it out there and people are going to buy it." You gotta work to, you know, get it out in front of people. And there's probably a lot of people that, you know, artists and stuff that just don't want any part of that.
Yeah.
Not to blame. It's a lot of work.
Yes,
I mean,
it
it was
is.
the thing, because I was on, you know, just total promo mode forever with Wraith of God, it seems like, and now I'm shifting back to work mode, right? I still have to promote it, but it's not as hard. And now you know, you take that extra time and it goes into the, you know, work now, which is actually kind of fun. I mean, it seemed to me actually drawing the page is easier than doing, you know, live streaming every day. And
Sure. Well, it seems like you juggled all of it really well. I was just like, wow, look at Aaron go, man.
well, I mean, thankfully, I was raised by a workaholic, so my dad. So he, it comes by naturally, you know. It's like I don't, if I'm not doing something, I feel really weird. But you don't, you know, when you're promoting, you don't really feel like you're working. I mean, it's time consuming. It's actually takes a toll more mentally than it does, you know, physically. Yeah. So you're still sort of, you know, tired and run down and exhausted or whatever from doing it, but it doesn't feel, because you're not really generating money by live streaming. You're hopefully generating money long term by promoting, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like someone's going, "Oh, I was on live streaming today for 4 hours, so here's your check for, you know, whatever."
Well, I think it ends up working monetarily if you're producing a quality and you're keeping your audience close to the chest and you're treating them right. It becomes like a word of mouth where they say, "Hey, go check out this guy. This guy's great,"
Yeah.
you know, and he's producing great stuff. And that's how it ends up. It doesn't add up as immediate money, but it could end up being long-term money in the long run and gaining more, you know, fans and friends and all that other kind of stuff.
Right.
So,
well, that's the thing. I mean, that's what promotion's all about, right? Is a long game instead of the short game. But it was just weird because it didn't really feel like I was doing anything, you know?
yeah.
It's like, and now when I'm back at the art table, actually working on the pages and stuff, now it's kind of like, okay, this feels normal to me now.
Yeah.
I'm used to.
I mean, it had to have felt like, you know, it meant something once you got $100,000 for your book. I was just like, look at Aaron go.
Well, that,
Right.
you know, at that point, you're kind of like, you know, then that's when you say, okay, it was all worth it, you know, because it worked out.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know, and it has to be a certain satisfaction to know that your your hard work and all that kind of stuff is worth it, and your fans think you're worth it, and you know, it should energize you to do, you know, some of the best work you've ever done, because it's more, you know, you're literally doing it for them. You know, when you're doing the stuff for DC, you don't get that interaction as much, and it feels like you're doing it for the corporation, or
That's,
you know,
you know, that's an excellent point. That's really true. I bought your book. Danky Frankie says, I bought your book based on your live streams. Didn't know about it until I heard about it through the live streams. Well, thank you very much. So there you go. So it does pay off.
hmm
And it's something you can't neglect. Kind of like
Yeah.
Dan, I'll back his book whenever he lists it, just because he's been so cool on these live streams, and it'll probably be a great book too. Hey, I'll back it. I'm a big fan of David. That's why I keep having him on.
Thank you.
I don't like him personally. I just like his art. So
Aaron doesn't like me. He loves me.
that's right. It's a deeper thing.
Yeah, it's deeper than like.
I'm going to go a little, I'm going to use your Presto white here, because it actually shows up pretty well on the stream. This is like, this Presto white thing, man.
Yeah,
You turn me
change
on.
your game up, huh?
It does. I love it, man. It's so awesome. Because when you're using like Pro White and you're just, you know, getting it, adding moisture to it and trying to get it to the right consistency, and you put
Yeah.
it on there, and then it's never thick enough, it's never opaque enough, and you have to end up putting on multiple coats. And, you know, this just lays on. I mean, it lays on thick.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can see that white out there a little bit more. Somebody says this looks more like the dude from Iron Maiden than it does Frankenstein.
Oh, that's funny.
Remember that really horrifying zombie
Yeah.
creature on those Iron
Yep.
Maiden covers, album covers in the 70s? Yeah, it was like always. I was always uncomfortable looking at those, going, God, that was freaking me out because it was like so evil looking. And here I've done it myself without even trying.
I don't know what I'm doing as far as this Frankenstein. I feel like I'm doing like the old Marvel version, but not quite. It's a little bit too cartoony for that. You remember how he had that fur?
Yeah, but Buscema, he had long hair and stuff, and he didn't really have the flat top. It was sort of rounded off. It was just kind of a thuggish looking Frankenstein. Is how Buscema used to do it. And
Yeah.
he used to do it. Luke's had a
Did you
little
like-
more zombie quality to it, where Buscema's was just more thuggish looking.
Yeah.
But you look like
It's like
on there.
it's almost Rankin Bass.
Yeah, exactly. What was that, Mad Monster Party or something?
Yeah.
Stuff. It's worked out really well. I have to do this more, but I have to get some colored markers now and spend the bucks.
There's cheaper ones than Copics that are. This is the problem. People think that Copics are like the end all be all, and they're great. I support them, but there's other things that you could use that are cheaper. The Prismas. I forgot the other ones. If you just want affordable things and you're just using them as literal sketch things, if you're not trying to do like super fine finishes and stuff like that, you could get cheaper ones.
Yeah, as long as the marker underneath isn't bleeding, which it clearly isn't, it doesn't really matter what you use over the top of it.
Exactly.
I don't know if some of those other ones fade. I mean, Copics are not supposed to, but I don't know. I mean, I've never had any trouble with them, and I've been using them for about probably 20 years now or 15 years.
Yeah.
I don't know I don't know what the Prismacolor ones don't do. I haven't used those. When I was working in commercial art before I even got into comics. We're talking like late 80s, early 90s. That's what I was using to do marker storyboards for commercials.
Yeah.
Remember those crappy Niji Stylist pens?
Mm.
Did you ever use those?
No.
They fade and like they just disappear after like a couple of years.
Really?
Yeah, I mean they literally just disappear. And we use so much of that stuff in commercial art, and I'm like, it's a good thing, you know, you don't have to save this stuff, you know, because those storyboards they're good for, you know, the presentation on Monday morning, and then they're, you know, in the trash.
Yeah.
We always used to get in the commercial art studio I worked in. We always used to get these calls like Friday afternoon, right?
Uh-huh.
From the big ad firm here in town. They're a big national ad firm that's here in Portland. Used to do all the Nike ads. I don't know, maybe they still do. I can't think of the name of them. But anyway, we get calls from them on like Friday afternoon, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and I remember one specifically. They said, okay, here's the deal. Bruce Banner goes to the Bates Motel, and these, you know, there's weird noises coming from his. It was a Coors Light proposed commercial.
Uh-huh.
And basically, I can't remember if they found the Hulk in the bathtub drinking Coors Light. It didn't really make any sense. They didn't end up using it. I remember getting, you know, like this would happen to me all the time because I was like the young guy in the studio, so I always got, you know, oh, guess who gets to stay the weekend? And so we would get these calls on Friday afternoon for storyboards that had to be done Monday morning.
Oh my goodness.
And so that would be, you know, working all weekend to get these things done. And usually it was like they would have 3 or 4 pitches for this commercial. So you'd do like storyboards for, you know, a 30-second spot for about 4 or 5 different 30-second spots. I remember one time I got this, came in Friday. It had to be done Monday, but it was for a poster for this tech company.
Uh-huh.
I literally worked. I never left the studio. I was there 72 hours straight. Would sleep a couple hours on a couch I had in my studio. Get up, start working again. It was insane, but I got it done.
I did that a couple of times at Warner Brothers and stayed there all night. And my boss goes, "What are you doing here?" He said, "Oh, you didn't have to do that." I said, "You said you needed it in the morning." Oh, I'm sorry. Go home and go to bed. It's not that important. I was like, "You said you needed it in the morning."
That's right. You're gonna make us all look bad, man. That was the thing, though. I mean, back then, I mean, we were doing commercial art, man. It had to be done.
Yep.
Because they had the meeting Monday morning and they had to present that stuff. And, you know, your reputation sort of depended on it, right? If you wanted more work, you better get that stinking thing done. And so it was easier to do when you're like, you know, in your mid-20s, right?
Sure.
Than it is when you're in your late 50s.
I would never do that today.
So was it cool? Did he school you?
Yeah, well, look at your one's going in ink with all this dark gray. It's not black. And then
It really adds.
and then I can go over the top of it with a warm gray color and it doesn't bleed at all. I didn't have any.
David, you're so smart.
I didn't have any color markers. Good. I just used other grays, but there it is.
There it be. That is really cool. Like
Look
it
at
just adds
his
another.
groovy Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. another like layer of depth.
Yeah.
I know. Look at me just spouting all that stuff.
So is Jessica here too? Just
Yeah.
Get to talk to the whole.
I
bunch of
got to
people.
talk to the kids.
But here I was.
Well, I went
live
downstairs. I
streaming
didn't
for
know they
you
were
guys.
here, and I went downstairs to grab a White Claw
They're down
in
there,
case anybody was doubting me.
and they're down there eating our food.
And
stuff
they
like
were just walked. They were in the kitchen. I was like, "Hey!" So it's almost gone.
It's like, hey, Dad, just went grocery shopping. Let's clean it out.
Yep. So what's been happening? I'm looking back.
Well, people have been actually just watching and
Very
making
cool.
comments here and there. And when we start drawing, the chat,
Oh.
the chat starts its own thing.
It's like mesmerizing, right?
Well, they usually have conversations that have nothing to do with
Oh,
us.
gotcha. Darsh is here. Darth Josh and Darth Vader just left.
Len Zombie's a hand. Danky, I think there's a book by an artist.
Kika Vandra, that's pretty funny.
There was an Italian movie called Zombie. It came out, I think, after Dawn of the Dead. And somebody said Zombie Island in the chat, and that made me think of this movie where these people had to go to this island and everybody was zombies. It was horrifyingly, disgustingly gross, though. And
There was
yeah.
one, did you answer what grid you guys are talking about?
no,
Hi,
what I didn't see it.
geek.
Good drawing.
Um,
What grid are you guys talking about? Is he? I don't know if he's talking to us or he's talking to somebody in the
oh,
chat.
maybe.
Oh, he's going green on Frankenstein to piss me off. So we have to go full screen here so
Uh-oh.
we can see. Hold that up, man.
Hold on. I'm still
Oh,
working.
I'm giving you full screen here so people can watch what you're doing because I'm done. I want to see.
You
what
done?
you're telling me you didn't
Golly.
have markers?
I didn't have enough colored markers because I don't use colored markers. I use colored pencil. But to test his technique, you need to
Yeah.
put
Oh, it says it will help me draw better without a grid.
You're
Oh.
probably talking perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so he puts the green in over the top of that gray, and the gray doesn't bleed. So you ink with a darker gray rather than a black. You put the color over the top of the gray, and it doesn't bleed. And then if you want to punch something up with some solid black, you go in after you're done with everything else.
See.
Mine feels like a Mort. Mine's like a Mort Drucker Frankenstein.
Good job, David.
See, D. Barry, man, he's your fan. He's like, that's sick, man. I think he means that in a good way.
These youngsters.
That was a sick White Claw I just finished too.
Geek Avenger says, Dave pushing the envelope with the green Frankenstein. Uh-oh, there you go. Statistical Zero says, I know Zombie. It was 1981 in Italy, 85 in the States. Oh, I saw it way before 85 did.
85.
Way. I mean, I was 16 when I saw that movie. That would have been 1980.
So maybe 81.
Yeah,
Could have been
so
spring.
yeah, so I don't know how I saw it. I saw it at
Were
a
you in
drive-in
Italy
theater.
or because you're
No,
Italian?
I saw it at a drive-in theater. Here we
That's so
go.
funny.
It's about time there's a Batman versus Frankenstein monster since we already had
Ooh.
Batman versus Dracula. Here we go. If Sergio Leone did a zombie movie, would it have been like a possible future Wraith story? Absolutely. Well, that's how I'm kind of Wraith of God. The whole thing feels like a spaghetti Western, a Clint Eastwood Western. That's the whole shtick. And the mysterious sheriff that's in this story
It's a new sheriff in town.
looks surprisingly like Clint Eastwood.
Nice.
Just saying.
His name's Reggie Hammond.
That's right.
Yeah, but cool.
Busting out the Eddie Murphy reference.
Yeah, they're classics.
Paul saying Glenn Strange, Green Frankenstein. Very nice. We got Zaid loves Doug Mankey's version of Frankenstein, Agent of Shade.
Cool.
I'm going to go full screen for a minute and show my zombie, and then I'm going to let you go full screen and show your
That's just not okay.
pieces.
Look at his zombie. Isn't that amazing? Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There it be. That's what I looked like when I
Scary.
woke up this morning.
You can see the grays in there, the warm grays. I kind of
That's
put in.
really very
And then
nice.
I dumped some black in around his eyes, and then kind of on some of the shadow areas, like
Mhm.
here, I dropped some solid black ins in his mouth. But the rest of that is just grays.
Nice.
There you
Geek
go.
Avenger says, "Nice, Aaron."
So there you go. So I didn't
Larry
let people
says,
down.
"Awesome."
I did my monster for the day.
There you go.
So thank you, Danky.
Thanks,
Thank you, Zaid. Wait a minute. We got more.
Tater.
Hyper Potato says zombie and other cult movies are being made into comics by Ebon Press. They're on Twitter if anyone is interested.
Nice.
Geek Avenger gives me a big, nice arrow,
Aaron.
full capitals. Cool. 2 mules for Sister Sarah. Not exactly what I'm going for, but
Hi, Paul.
that, of course, was another Clint Eastwood movie with Shirley MacLaine, I think.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so there's my zombie. Let's take a. Are you ready to show your monster?
Yeah, you guys are just leaving it way too.
Yeah.
open
Okay.
here.
There we go. Cool. So we got dual lighting on there and everything. So nice. Look at that.
Stop.
You know, it's funny that the marker. Now, is that a Copic blue that you use behind him?
Yep.
It almost looks like paint. Just
Oh wow. Yeah.
and your red does too on your Batman. It looks like you just threw some paint in there really quick, so that's really cool. Awesome.
Hold on, I forgot something.
Uh-oh. Oh, gonna sign it. You gonna send that to me?
You need it?
I'll take it.
Do I need it? Wait.
Now that I've got David on, this is a perfect opportunity to do some show and tell
Uh-oh.
before we wrap up.
Which is
You
otherwise
better not show something
You
old
got
of mine.
stuff.
No, dude, I'm gonna do it because
I'm about to check out. See you later.
oh,
Bye-bye.
Run!
wait. I find it. It's a very minor, small, simple piece, but here we go. Are you ready?
No.
Yeah, you are. Hang on. We will go to me.
Oh boy.
And let's share a little David Williams magic there. Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man. This was 2013. Now you were working.
Gosh.
You were working at Warner Brothers when you drew that, right?
Yes.
2013.
Yeah.
We were at San Jose, Big Wow.
Yeah.
And you had like this stuff sitting there, and I was like, dude, I want that Spider-Man drawing. And you're like, here, just take it. And I was like, no, I can't take it for free. So I think I ended up, giving you $10 or something for it because you wouldn't charge me for it. So
You're a nut. I'm gonna get you back somehow, some way.
no, see, that's the only David Williams piece I have. I need a new one.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do. All right. So let me switch cameras so people can see my wonderful face.
Oh,
David's not going to
Grading
reveal
papers.
his face. He's going to let us look at his art.
Here's my face.
There.
that's how I'm feeling.
he's feeling a little green.
Oh. Aaron bad.
Cigar.
Oh, well.
Oh,
So,
good.
everybody, that's going to wrap it up for today. I want to thank David Williams for joining me once again. He's pretty much a regular on this show, and it's always got top-notch stuff and dropping serious knowledge on us, which we enjoy. It's always good to be smarter than dumber. Is that even a word? Dumber?
It is in my world.
Yeah, it's smarter. It's better to be smarter than dumber. So,
And I promise everybody I'll try to be good this week.
and
Try not to offend
that's right. We
social groups.
That's
and,
right. We don't want
get articles written about me.
We don't
Did you
want
guys? Did you see it? Unbelievable. Who cares what I think?
Apparently
I'm a
somebody does.
nobody.
Yeah, they wrote an article based on her tweet about DC not hiring people that
Uh-huh.
work at Comicsgate.
Uh-huh.
In fact, some
They even
people,
screenshotted a couple
Yeah.
of my tweets, and luckily I didn't use any bad language or anything. I
Yeah,
just
so they
care
didn't-
about people.
so they didn't have to do this.
I should
so that
carry
was
that
good.
around with me. But yeah, I'll try not to offend it's on what article?
I don't even know. I don't even know the site.
I got it.
But it's like, I thought it was, nothing against the guy that wrote it, but I'm kind of like, if you're writing a news article based on someone's tweet that you can't verify,
And using words
it's
like allegedly. I
yeah,
was like,
and
well, like-
rumored, you're kind of like,
Yeah.
if you can't check your sources, then don't do it.
well, because people kept asking me who, and I'd say it's not my place to share who.
Mhm.
That's if they want to share it, they can. So people are like, oh, she's just making it up, and like I have that kind of time or energy. But allegedly this or this, and I was like, okay, but he didn't email me. He didn't,
No.
like
David,
he could
look-
have. I don't know, but I was
David.
just like, oh,
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, Randy Howell from Canada says, David, looks like Frankenstein goes to the same barber as J. Jonah Jameson.
Oh, it
But
was,
then he throws in back Bass Reeves. So there you
yeah,
go.
absolutely.
Yeah.
It was on a Bounding into Comics.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Spider-Man bad. Huh?
Thanks, thank you, Gary Shelley. But I'm like, who am I? I'm a nobody. I don't like
Not
one guy
anymore.
that was really like,
You're an
It-
internet superstar.
well, one guy was really not nice. And I think he had like 24 followers. So I was like, I don't care. But yeah, you get a kick out of Shelley, what she thinks. Oh, thanks. I'm a little outspoken. What I say, like, I'm the vocal one and Aaron's way nicer than me.
Yeah,
But
that's
he
true.
had no idea. So
absolutely
I
true.
should put that out there. Like people like, he did not know. Yeah, Jeffrey, we're talking. And so some guy, it was
Potts is still here. He hasn't got blown up today.
Bounding into Comics. Says rumor DC Comics threatening to blacklist any freelancer associated with Comicsgate. And then it goes on, blah, blah, blah.
That's not really news, though. I mean, everybody
No.
pretty much knows that.
And then
anyway.
it says, word of DC's supposed new anti-Comicsgate policy was first made public by Shelley Lopresti, the wife of veteran comic book artist Aaron Lopresti.
At least they didn't say journeyman.
Right, who himself recently made a turn towards Comicsgate after an appearance on Ethan Van Scriver's live stream made in promotion of the crowdfunding campaign for his original series, Wraith of God, earned him a deluge of condemnation from contemporary comic book professionals and audiences.
Deluge.
Hey, deluge it up. On October 14th, Shelley took to her personal Twitter account to reveal, as if we need another reason, blah, blah, blah. And then he screenshotted them and yeah. So I apologize, Aaron. He had no idea. And I thought, that ticked me off. I think people should know because you guys over history have been treated not very well over time with all of this crap or being left off
Well, comic
movie
artists
credits.
have
or not paid.
never been treated well, really.
No. And so it
Exactly.
just makes me mad that they do it even more. And it wasn't like they said, oh, you can't work for anybody. It was just Comicsgate, which I think is so dumb. But anyway,
It is. But there you have it.
I'm not embarrassed. I'm just kind of like, why do they care what I think? But let's see. When do we see a Shelley Mathematics channel on YouTube? Well, oh wait, where'd it go? Oh,
It's right there.
there are some stuff up there, but I only screen record, and I'm not very good with the Wacom tablet, so it looks like a fourth grader wrote it when we had to do online teaching. But yeah, no, I don't want, like, doing this was huge for me. I don't like all this out there. Like, yeah,
You don't want all of this.
all
here.
of this.
This is interesting. Didn't DC dump like 90% of their comics this year? So who's worried about being hired by them anyway?
Exactly.
Well, the funny thing is, this reminds me of a story. My dad used to be a subcontractor in one of his jobs. He was a meat cutter for Safeway for years, but he also worked as a door weather stripper, which used to be a thing. And so he was a subcontractor for construction. I remember him calling this guy on the phone that owed him money for doing this job. And the guy would not pay him. And my dad kept calling him. And the guy finally said to him, if you don't quit calling me, I'm never going to hire you again. And my dad said, why would I work for you when you don't pay?
Right.
So, I mean,
Oh
how
my
can you
God.
threaten someone? It's like, I'm not paying you and I'm not going to give you any more unpaid work if you don't leave me alone.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah. I think it's out of jealousy and pettiness and political. I mean,
That's all politics.
yeah. And that it should not have a bearing on who gets hired. Like when I was
Mhm.
studying math and stuff in college, and there was I was one of 3 women at Oregon State studying math at the time. And people would be like, oh, you could write your ticket. You're women in math? Wow. And you can coach too? Wow. You could get any job you want. And I was like, I don't want to be hired because I have boobs. I'd like to be hired because I'm good at what I do. But they were just like, oh, women in math. Oh, I must be a mutant of some kind. But
All we all want is just like equal opportunity, and you earn your way, and that should be the only.
Well,
They don't hire women because of their boobs. They hire men because of their boobs now.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, there's going to be an article written about you tomorrow.
That's right.
So be
David
prepared.
Williams said, I
Yeah, and Shelley Lopresti warned him.
gotta read some stuff. People saying nice things about me, so I have to read it.
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Geek Avenger says, I've come to the conclusion that anybody that mentions journeyman with Aaron's name in the same sentence is either an idiot or jealous of his skill. Thank you,
Aw,
Geek Avenger.
Sure.
I
Oh.
appreciate that.
loving the geeks.
Taskmaster Dan is right there with him.
Aw,
There you go.
Dankster. That's so
Veteran
nice.
superstar artist Aaron Loprest.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Oh my gosh. But go up to statistical 0. Yeah, you got in there for me. I appreciated it. But yeah, there was and I would say like they were saying something about how we're not going to clear anything from Indiegogo. And I said, I really appreciate your concern, but we'll be all right. Don't worry. Or, they must be crying or da-da. And I go, no crying here. We're all right. It was just silly.
Veteran in WWE equals guy that loses all the time. When you're a veteran wrestler in the WWE. Oh, Yep. Or if you're a tactician. That's
Tactician.
that guy really knows his wrestling moves, and then he gets slammed by Hulk Hogan and it's all over.
Oh. Yeah.
Paula Sart says, I have boobs, but it's not on purpose.
Oh no.
That was good. Anyway, all right, we got to get out of here.
So funny.
So anyway, let me get back to ending the show again.
I'm sorry.
Again.
I want to thank the great David Williams for joining us, shedding some knowledge on us and uplifting our IQs, art IQs.
Exponential.
And I want to thank all of you in the chat for joining us. We had a big crowd tonight, as we always do when David comes in. And we had fun drawing as always. So if you haven't backed Wraith of God, though, that's my Indiegogo project.
Please, so we don't cry. And
that's
we don't
right. We
lose
don't
money.
want to cry, and
Oh,
so anyway, but the link is in the description of the video, so you can click on that. It'll take you right there, and you can check it out. There's art posted and all sorts of fun stuff that you can read and see if it's something you might be interested in. Anyway, David, someday we'll get some creator-owned stuff out of him. We'll keep pulling until it that didn't come out right.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa.
Hang on now.
oh, we're good friends, but hold on.
We'll keep bugging him until he shares some stuff with us. But anyway, you guys have a great week in front of you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening, and we will catch you next time, which may be tomorrow, but definitely next week at Sunday at 5. So thanks for joining us, and we'll